Okay, cool. So, I'm okay. Auto wiring. This is just let me have a look for everything. The structure first of all. So answer. These packages are good. Generally, we keep package names lowercase though.
Is it fine one being answer and then other one being points? I think they should all have an S in the end, just because.
Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah. Well, I think I just keep it consistent. So either answer and then points questions or point.
Yeah.
I think usually people don't plural things. Like they just say
Yeah, I noticed that earlier, and I was like,
point. Yeah. So again, package name is lowercase, and you can either separate them. I'm not going to get into package case naming, but lowercase generally because there's more.
Yep.
There's more specific stuff. I'm just going to quickly change that. Might as well do it whilst I'm going through. And again, that's Shift F6 will rename it everywhere, like automatically. So
nice.
nice. Okay. Application. Let me go through here. Let's inspect. Yeah, this is just the default, right? We don't give a fuck about this.
Yeah, we didn't. I didn't need it really.
We can actually just get rid of that, I think, and it'll still work fine. Why is
That
this?
one was just
Application
showing
context not configured for this file. Okay, that was just a. And this is again, this is junk. We don't need that, right? We don't care about this. Okay, so answer. Yes, this is good. We have the service. The package structure is. I think you've actually done it a very logical way, but generally the way we do it is we have like. Now again, I don't know the reasoning for this. Maybe I can find out. But usually we would have like controllers.
Oh, okay.
And I don't want to just blindly give you services or controller instead of.
And then objects.
Yeah, and then model I think is usually the name. But that again, that's like fucking so pedantic, so I don't want to go into that. Let's have a look. So answer is a Pojo with ID and answer.
Yeah, I didn't really know what I needed, but I knew probably need an ID if there's multiple.
Yeah,
people.
no, I think that's probably a good idea.
So I think everything has an ID.
One of the things I might expect is I might expect unless. Okay. So what I would expect is instead of this string being an answer, I would expect this string to be an answer. Right.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I could have done that. Didn't really think of that.
Yeah. But I think there's definite progress being made in kind of like the object-oriented way of thinking. Answer. And I would also maybe expect like I don't know. Let me actually look at the logic before I get this the fuck out of my way. Before I continue, but request mapping. Yep, this is good. I like this request. Like you can also do this is not an improvement. This is not better or worse, but you can also do instead of request mapping get, you could just do get mapping.
Okay,
and then you don't have to specify get. Then you could just have the value. But
okay.
That's request mapping is a totally valid way.
So is request mapping just like an umbrella term that has all the methods in the request methods?
Or is a request? Yes, basically, right.
Okay.
Yeah, and another thing we can do here, questions get. So another thing we can do is we can actually, because it seems like here, we want to keep these consistent, right? And before all of these we have questions, right? So what we could do is we could just have here request mapping value questions, and then this way this can become questions.list, questions.getID, and then we're questions.add.
So the value is always going to be questions.
Yeah, so and then that way it will look like. Wait, can you see this? Let me zoom in.
Yeah.
It will look like HTTP localhost /questions/list.
Okay.
So that's just another minor thing. Auto wiring. Field injection is not recommended. I think this is fine. There is a slightly better way to do this, but I don't know. We can go into that later. Like I don't want to. That seems to make sense to me. As long as this is marked as a service, which it is, which is great. Cool. So these are your questions. You're storing them in the service for now. That makes sense. And then answer. I assume we need to give that a number as well. Questions. Ah, I see. So, yeah. I see. So points. I'm just thinking about how this should be structured because I would maybe expect in the answer, in a question we might have like. So I'll just type this out for now. So, or correct answer.
Yeah.
And then private set answer possible answers.
Okay.
So I don't know how you want to do it because you're the I don't know if you're imagining like a multiple choice thing or like just they would type it, right? But
Yeah.
it like
I think typing.
yeah, okay, if they're doing typing then yeah, that's that'd be fine. But it like I might as well go
Maybe
through
multiple
this.
choice.
If you wanted to add multiple choice then we could do something like this, right? And then we would have like okay, this is the correct answer, this is the possible answer, and then for each question you could do like public void public set answer get possible. No wait, this should be incorrect. This will hopefully make sense in a minute. Get possible answers. And then so for I don't know how you would do this, but then you could return these questions and you could say, okay, so we want a set of I'm just trying to think about. I'll just make it simple for now. There are more elegant ways of doing this, but we would just say okay, so set answer possible answers equals new hash set. And the reason I'm using set here is because I want the answers to be unique, obviously.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter about the order necessarily. But then I would have possible answers, and then I want to add the correct answer, and then I want possible answers, and I want to add the incorrect answers. And then when I return possible answers, I'm giving them like 4 answers, right? And they have no idea because they just see possible answers. This is like the outgoing value is possible answers, and then I could have in my I don't know if we need. No, actually, we do need an answer. In my question controller, I could have something like get question. Yeah, and then, no, sorry, and then when I return the question, it would return the possible answers. But
Yeah.
so let me actually run this and see if things are working. I know won't work, so I just added some bullshit here. But I'll actually just stash. Oh no, I can't. It's not a Git repository. Okay. I'll just undo all of this then. Okay. Application.
Something in the service that's wrong.
Oh yes. I changed this to answer. Not spotted. Cancel. Is this good now? I think we're good now. Why is this giving us a problem? Oh, it wants us to make it final. Okay, seems to be booted. Did you try these yourself, like with a Postman?
Yeah, I use Postman and I checked all the post and gets and they all worked.
Okay, wicked. So question/list.
It took me a while to get used to it. I didn't realize like I had to specify it was like a JSON file and stuff. So
Yeah.
For a while I was like, what's happening?
But I think once you kind of get the hang of it, it's pretty intuitive. Wait, get current question. That's what I want to do. So let's have a look. Oh, I have to use an ID. Fuck that. I'll just use a list. Not found. Okay. Or is it questions? I think it might be questions.
It might be questions. Yeah.
200. Nice. Wicked. It works. Okay, nice one.
A peek.
What is green? Answer frog. What is... Yeah, cool. And let me have a look at this. I think you're pretty much fucking bang on, to be honest, mate. Like everything.
I read this in less than 5 seconds. I was like, I need to fill this with some like random crap. Couldn't you just check? What is green?
Yeah.
Frog.
Let me have a look there. So I think the structure of the actual object classes can be sort of improved a little bit in terms of to get more like object orientation in terms of having that whole thing where if you want to give multiple choices, like it'll be great if I guess next time like the kind of the next task I'll set is like I want to be able to play through the command through the postman, right? I want to be able to ask what's the question, I get a number of answers, then I can send in a response like. Yeah, and I understand if you don't want to do everything as multiple choice, but for this example right now, it would be really kind of easy to get things rolling. So answer service the way, and again, like this is just basically perfect. It's exactly what I expect to see. Oh, this is static. We don't want this to be static, actually. Get all answers, and then this because that's one thing. It's services. When we label something as service, we're basically telling Spring to like handle our instance for us. So Spring uses these things called like beans, which basically they're like instances of certain components. That's what we call them. Like a controller is a component, a server is a component, and it magically sort of. I say magically because we can go into it later, but right now it's just magic. Well, when we do this auto wiring, where do we do it? When we do this auto wiring, it kind of figures out okay, where's our instance of question service, and it will provide you that instance.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't want to use static stuff in here generally, unless we're using like a constant. But I think this is generally pretty good.
Yeah, I think I'm just using static for like everything. So
yeah, well, that's the problem. Is static is like it's like infectious, right? Once you make one thing static, anything that references it needs to use static. Then anything that references those needs to use static, and it just continues until everything is. Oh, I didn't check point yet. Let me have a look at points. Okay, so where's score? So is it possible to play it right now? Like, would I be able to rack up a score?
No, there's no logic to it. It's just the HTTP endpoints, really. I also put the points in the list, so it's just you can reference those.
This is perfect, though, mate. Like the player and int player get points for that's like spot on.
Cool. So now I need to add some actual logic to it.
Yeah, if you could add some like I won't. I guess I won't go too specifically. Like I won't say any because like just I would like all I'll say is if this doesn't work next time maybe I'll be more specific. But for now, it would be kind of great if we could just get the server to a point where I could actually play the game.
Okay.
And another thing I'd like to add is the questions. We store them right now in a question controller, right? Like this, like what is yellow? I think it'd be better if we like looked into some other like file format. So if like maybe we used, I think, let me write some of these down in Zoom. Actually, you probably know them, right? Like we could use like there's a properties file in Java. It's one way you could store it, or JSON or XML. Something called YAML. Like I just would basically like to see a file that looks kind of like resources. Let's just do JSON for now. We typically don't store. I'll use XML because that's much more Java-y. Questions.xml. Then we might have blah 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 XML. This is gonna be wrong. But what, like, you got to do like a question mark or something, and then the version. Actually, fuck it, I'll just do this for now. But it'll be cool if we had some like file that was basically like, okay, question, and then in question, we had, question text. This is just an example. You can do it however you want, but I think it's just better to do it this way than to store it in Java in like actual raw Java class. So, what is blue? And then this might be overly complicated. There's then answers.
I've not done much XML stuff before, so it would be interesting.
Well, yeah. You know, like answer correct or is correct. You know, there's lots of like lots of ways to specify that in every. But you know, what is blue? The sky. And then we can have other answers that are false. The ground. Whatever. And then it will basically read these, like, it would read this into a question class.
Yeah.
And read this into, like, a set of answers, and it would read this as the correct, you know, like, it would...
Oh, so these actually reference, those tags actually reference the objects.
Yeah, well, yeah, so you could basically pass them into it. And you won't have to manually write this, because there's loads of, like, XML libraries already out there. We could basically just... if you... I'll actually show you this, because this might be useful. So... I would just do like XML parsing library or parse XML Java. Here we go, right? So, and then we could see, this is just an example, like Jackson XML. Okay, so then we just can copy this. Actually. This is a better way to, because then you can learn how to do any of them. So it's like Jackson, XML, and then Maven repository. And this website is a fucking blessing. So you just go here, and then you click on this. Then it's like, you click on the version you want. I always just get the most recent one. You click on here, and you copy it, and then you just fucking throw that in your POM.
Yeah.
And it will set everything up for you in your dependencies, but here. And then blah, blah, blah. And then you can basically create your own logic, but it will do all of the tricky stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And there is actually an easier way of, in a question, you could just have, like in the answer itself, I was thinking maybe you could have like, is correct.
Right? Yeah, I was wondering what that was in the XMLs, but reference that.
Something like that. Yeah.
So really, does the answer need to carry the answer string?
Pardon?
Do you know the private string answer?
Yeah.
Would that even need it, really? Can you just have it as correct and then equate it to whatever the
you do need it in some senses. That's actually really smart, I think. But you need to still show it to people, right?
Yeah, I guess.
If you could maybe, but I think you could in theory. No, it's not. No, I think it's probably easiest to have it in here. Just have like a text of the answer and then it's correct. But if you were just dealing with a computer and you just had numbers, then yeah, you wouldn't need the string. You would just be like, okay, is it correct? Otherwise, it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Cool. Anything else? Any other questions?
Not really. No. Yeah, I thought it was wasn't that bad.
No, this was wicked. This was like fucking spot on, to be honest.
It's a lot easier than I thought it would be.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The Spring Boot is everything's like configured for us.
Yeah. Once I learned some of the like Spring Boot tags, it all made a lot more sense.
Yeah.
I kind of like the whole tag thing where you tag.
Yeah, annotations. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice.
You can actually code these yourself. Like if I click here, you can actually just go into here and you can see it's like a thing. This is like insanely complicated, but you know you can create them yourself, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
Cool.
Okay, cool. Right, wicked.
Great. If you could send me like a little text thing of what's like expected, just in case I get a little
Yeah, sure.
confused.
So I'll send you the requests I want to send, basically.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant.
Okay,
Thank
cool.
you. All right, have a good day, man.
Yeah, you too, mate. See ya.